right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Mike, and today for episode 27, we're going to be breaking down UFC Vegas 59, and I am joined by two very special guests, the two hosts of Chronic Combat Conversations. We've got TB Scouting MMA, Guru Scouting MMA, and Guru's Cat.
Dr. Phil. What's up?
Dr. Phil, let's go. So, TV, let's starting with you, man. Why don't you introduce yourself, and are you hyped for this card? It's okay to say no. It's a bit of a week.
I'll give the standard, I think this card will be exciting. We got some good fights on it that I'm looking forward to, some other ones that aren't so good, but I do feel good on a bunch of plays here. I got into MMA a few years ago when they legalized gambling in Jersey, so now I've been kind of balls deep doing as you guys have seen in our show, lots of statistics and profiles.
What show is that, by the way?
Chronic Combat Conversations. Make sure you give us a follow and subscribe, people.
Which I'm also the co-host of. What's up, guys? Guru Scouting MMA in the building. I am quite excited for these fights. That co-main event should be probably a main event somewhere on a fight night. And I personally watched this tough season. TB did not. So I'm certainly more excited for that than he is, but then maybe even you. And then at the same time, though, I'm actually going to be at a concert this Saturday night. So I'm not even sure how much of the fights I'm even going to get to see. So
damn, who's the casual now? Damn.
Yeah, listen, beach concert gotta be done.
You can always watch it on your phone, though. The usual.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
I'm pretty hyped to see what you think of those two tough fights, Guru, since you've actually been watching the show. I've got an interesting read on one of them. But all right, why don't we get right into it? We'll start with the first fight. We've got Mayra Bueno Silva versus Stephanie Egger. Silva's 8-2-1. She is 30 years old, 5'6" with a 67-inch reach, and I've got her training out of Combat Sports Academy and spending some time over with Rosie and Gracie's camp as well. On the other side, we've got Stephanie Egger, 7-2-0, 33 years old, 3 years older, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. So she's got 1 inch in reach here, and she is still training at a buddy gym. So for this one, why don't you start us off, TB?
Ooh. Okay.
The handsome one first.
Yeah. So sorry, I was caught slightly unprepared as my
fault. I should have warned you.
No. You are all good because my document is loading, and I'm.
That's what she said.
A slow piece of garbage. But I think as Guru likes to tell you, our main fight, fight card openers are generally ones that the people think are going to be exciting. So I know, listen, it's Mayra Bueno Silva and Stephanie Egger, but as we saw in Bueno Silva's last fight, she's willing to bring an exciting fight. So she's going to bring some volume. She's a little crazy. And she's got good grappling. Egger, I don't think it's going to be as easy as a Jessica Rose Clark or a Shanna Young finish. So I see the line was like super close to even. Me, I'm going to go towards the Bueno Silva side. I think she's faced a better competition in the UFC, and I think she's got a more explosive skill set. Whereas Egger's shown like a finishing capability recently, but it's someone that I've tried to fade in the past, and maybe that Cortez fight sticks out too much in my mind. But I think Silva's just much better overall and more well-rounded.
Makes sense to me. How about you, Guru?
Yeah, when you look at the line here and you wonder how it should be favored, right, or who should be favored, I kind of thought that Bueno Silva would be, maybe slightly favored at the very least because of just at least an experience advantage. But at the moment, she's the plus money dog. So at plus 100 for her to win the fight, I don't necessarily dislike that.
Yeah, man.
At all.
I'll say this personally. I'm on Egger, but I got her at plus odds. I got her at, I think it was plus 124. And I did like that because look, Silva on the feet, I would say it's close, right? Silva's Silva's got the power here. Striking wise, I lean Silva, but I think it's pretty close. But the thing that stuck out to me is that Silva gives up a lot of bottom control. You look at her numbers. Shout out to Uncle Weezy for his stats, always killing it. But Silva, 4.29% for, 36.12% against. She's giving up control time. She's going fishing for those arm bars, and they work. She's got a good arm bar, but we're talking about a judo black belt here, and like there's grappling and judo as well, and she's well trained in that stuff. And I think it's going to be difficult to submit Egger. Never been subbed so far in her career. At these plus odds, though, I cannot blame anyone for going with Silva. I mean, you can get her plus 113, and now it's growing. And like I said, I do think she probably has a striking edge here. And if Egger can't get her down, she probably wins this fight. So honestly, take the plus money side, in my opinion. Right now, that's Silva. So
yeah, and you can't hate a plus money play on Egger if you got it. So good call.
Yeah, beating some line movement. You got to love that.
Yes, sir. But moving right along, we've got another women's bout that's interesting, I guess. We've got Cory McKenna versus Miranda Granger. McKenna is 6'2" 23 years old, super young, 5'3", 58-inch reach, which is nuts. Training out of Team Alpha Male. On the other side, we've got Granger. She's 7'2", 30 years old, 5'7", so she's got a 4-inch height advantage, 68-inch reach. She's got a 10-inch reach advantage. And she is training out of, let me see if I have something different. Yeah, Charlie's Combat Club. So, Guru, why don't you start us off for this one, man?
What an interesting thing to go. So, Miranda Granger, right? We haven't seen her, Miss Danger Granger, since 2020 November. She's was out due to having a kid. Great, pregnant, got a nurse, have the baby, recover. Now, so this is her rebound fight coming back from that layoff. So congratulations to her. And you've got Cory McKenna coming off a loss as a split decision loss as a minus 300 favorite to Elise Reed. And in Elise Reed's last fight, she didn't look so great, did she? Against, what's her face?
Sam Hughes.
Sam Hughes, exactly. Sam Page. So, yeah, not a great look. So when you look at this line, you get a Miranda Granger nearly plus 200, and she's fought Ashley Yoder and Amanda Hemos were her last two losses. So people like Amanda Hemos. So can't Lemos, Hemos. I don't know how. Probably Lemos.
Yeah,
but either way.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
It's
an R.
Yeah,
it's an R now.
Yeah, L's don't sound like an H, only R's. Come on, Guru.
Yes, they do. I'll make it up. Yeah. So once again, I like the dog. Otherwise, stay the far fuck away from this fight.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, so I've been getting a ton of flack for this, and rightfully so. Weezy's probably going to beat me with a bag of oranges, but I parlayed Cory McKenna. I did.
Oh, no.
The way I looked at it is, I like my parlay round robin situations, and I couldn't find too many good pieces I trusted. And I was looking at it, and I'm the first person to see a size difference and be like, I'm with the size bully. I love that stuff. I think it's a tremendous advantage and a very real one. But like, you also need the person to use their length. And you look at Granger and like, is she keeping people at distance with her kicks and her jabs? No, she's not. And her striking defense is like 59%, which surprised me because she's pretty damn hittable in my opinion, especially in her, like, you look at her last few fights, like she's pretty hittable. And, McKenna, say what you want. Yeah, that she's got that terrible reach, the T-Rex arms, but she's decent at crashing the pocket. Once she gets in there, she's throwing flurries. Her output's good. She's using that jab. She's tripling up on the jab. And she does have that wrestling advantage. I know everybody's saying we thought she'd wrestle against Reed. But, like, she's 23. She's going to make mistakes in the moment, and I do expect her to get better each fight, especially training at Team Alpha Male. So I do like McKenna. TV, do you have anything different to add?
So I guess I would just say I would hope McKenna learned from her misgivings in her last fight. She seemed to be talking about in her interviews that she knew she had to wrestle last fight and messed up. So if she comes out with that game plan and getting in the pocket, like this could be like a Josiane Nunez versus Bea Malecki, or it could be low-level women's MMA where size totally matters. So for me, I'm going to sit back and learn a little something from this fight. Did Cory McKenna fix her fight IQ? That's what I need to know. So I'm not laying juice at this moment on her, but that's my pick to win the fight for sure.
That's probably the smartest thing to do. So just watch this one.
Yeah. I wouldn't even go to Grandma's couch cushions, Guru.
I was about to say, I don't even if I went to Grandma's couch cushion on
not even
Granger,
the couch.
I don't think I'm circling her.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the problem. I don't think I could find a juicy enough prop that would be worth that nickel I found in the couch cushion.
Nah.
The one prop I am looking for that one is I'm kind of looking at McKenna by KO. It's in like the plus 1,100, 1,200 range. And I'm just imagining her maybe being on top, ground and pound TKO. I don't think it's impossible. Granger does tend to get stuck underneath. I don't think it's the most likely outcome, but there's a reason it's like plus 1100. We'll see if I end up getting there, but it's definitely one that I'm looking at.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Especially when we're not sure exactly how committed Granger is to returning to the
exactly
octagon.
2 years out, right? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I would agree.
But all right, moving right along, we've got this one's pretty fun. We got Jason Witt versus Josh Quinlan. Witt is 19-8-0, 35 years old.
Since he's a drug user, is it time for us?
Honestly,
yeah.
Right before the fight.
Might as
Probably
well. Let's go.
Probably a good way to tee it up, right?
Party time.
Damn, I should host a podcast or something.
It would be pretty good. Maybe name it Chronic Combat.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
because maybe we enjoy the chronic, and perhaps fights are like a chronic, a thing that's kind of like always going on. You know what I'm saying? Like Dana White Contender Series on right now. We're literally watching. So maybe it's an appropriate show name. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's double entendre is cool, but I don't know. Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go.
Oh, we're all glass guys. I like that. Very cool.
Very nice. Beautiful way to start breaking down this fight because Jason Witt's getting smoked. Round 1 knockout. Josh Quinlan. Boom.
Whoa.
There you go. That's my breakdown. There you go. Yeah, it's easy.
Whoa.
It's simple. Yeah, Jason Witt, since when? Okay. The only way that he loses a fight in the UFC or basically in general is just getting starched. He's got 6 knockouts and 2 subs. The subs have basically come after he's gotten starched. He's a really good grappler. Glory MMA. Josh Quinlan only has finishes in his career. 3 knockouts, 2 subs. Crazy hands. He's a BJJ black belt. I expect him to be able to stuff and deal with the takedowns of Jason Witt. If not, if this fight extends and goes on, okay, that plus money on Witt's looking pretty solid because Quinlan should be able to starch him.
But then that's a live play on Witt.
I don't
know. He's
able to read that.
Yeah, but it's like round 2 versus Rowe. He's allowed to be starched at any point. So
yeah, no, you're so true. And even how about that Brian Barberena fight where he's cruising for 2 rounds and then almost gets knocked out? So fuck that. You got to play Quinn.
But real quick, let's introduce the fighters real quick.
Never.
We forgot that part.
That's what happens. So we like to use that and then kind of forget what we're doing.
But here we've got Jason Witt versus Josh Quinlan. Witt 19-8-0, 35 years old, 5'10", 70-inch reach, training out of Glory MMA and Fitness. Quinlan on the other side is 5-0, should be 6, but he popped for steroids after his Contender Series win. I'm not sure exactly what it was, tainted supplement or not, but it was something. He got suspended. 29 years old, 6 feet tall. So he's got 2 inches of height, 72-inch reach, 2 inches of reach, and I have him training out of Wand Fight Team. He trains with under Wanderlei Silva, which kind of matches the whole popping for steroid situation. But I mean, TV, you were pretty on point. Guru, you got anything to add to what he was saying?
Not even like the slightest. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, me personally, I don't think I can get to Quinlan at these kinds of odds. Even his KO prop is not really playable.
What is it?
I think it's. Let me pull it up. I thought it was minus.
I don't see it on DraftKings at the moment, so I doubt FanDuel has it.
Let me pull it up on Best Fight Odds.
Oh, you like that's cool. That's good.
Quinlan plus 100.
I'm in. Are you? Come on.
It's plus money still. That's where I'd lean.
Money still.
Okay. But he could knock him down, and where Sato got the ground and pound, maybe Quinlan with his black belt tries to hop on a sub for Witt's 3rd career sub loss. So maybe inside the distance is
he
more
hasn't
proper.
lost by sub in the
Quinlan
UFC.
a black belt?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least he says he is on his socials.
Witt hasn't lost by submission since 2016. I really like that KO prop.
Yeah, I mean, personally, the only way I could play this will probably be Witt money line. I don't think I can get there because of the chin and because his striking is pretty terrible. I was watching the tape, I went into it, I knew Quinlan was the favorite, and I was like, all right, I can't back a guy making his debut. He fought in the Contender Series for what it was under a minute or something like that. I just can't back him as a minus 200 something favorite. And then Witt. I've been fading Witt since he made his debut. I never thought he was any good. I was shocked that he beat I'm blanking now. what's his name? Barberena. I was shocked that he beat
yeah.
Barberena. And, like, if he can't get the wrestling going, I think he gets sparked. But if he does get it going, I feel like this might be pretty close. Like, you look at Quinlan's past fights, he had an LFA fight against this guy, Borsheg, and Borsheg took him down, took his back. Quinlan did end up reversing him and ending up on top, but it just showed that Quinlan can be wrestled, he can be grappled. So I'm probably not going to touch it, but if we end up seeing Jason Witt at like plus 250 or more, I'm probably going to hop on the Witt side for a small sprinkle.
Okay. All right. I can't hate that.
But we'll move right along.
Can I respectfully hate that?
Yeah, you can hate it. You can hate it.
Cool.
It's more fun that way anyways. I was looking at his sub prop too. I think his sub prop is a little juicy, but I don't know. I don't really see Quinlan getting subbed here.
Right. That was the only thought, is maybe his black belt keeps him from getting subbed. If he loses, it would be a decision. That was my thought.
Yeah. Witt by decision is another thing I looked at. It's plus 450 on Bet Online.
Ooh, okay. All right. That's a juicy prop. That's a $5 before the fight type of deal.
Yeah, maybe if it hits like 500 on FanDuel, that might be something I play and just play it small that way.
Mm-hmm.
But moving right along, we've got another fun fight. Here we've got Takashi Sato versus Bryan Battle. Sato is 16-5-0, 32 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. Training, I refuse to call it by the new name. Training out of Sanford MMA, my favorite camp. On the other side, we got Bryan Battle, 7-1-0, 27 years old, 6'1", so he's got a 3-inch height advantage, 77-inch reach, so he's got a 4-inch reach advantage. And he's training out of, what do I have for him? ISN MMA, just like it says. All right, so for this one, TB, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so Bryan Battle moving down to welterweight here. So I'm interested to see what he looks like on the scales. I got to go take a look over at his Instagram. I'm a little behind on a few scouting things here.
Good. He looks
crazy
good.
Week. Okay. All right. So that's already a good sign.
He with my wife, Taylor Starling.
All right.
Carolina.
Yeah. I'm so sure that she's your wife. But anyways, Bryan Battle.
No, I actually fuck with Rockstar MMA, her boyfriend. So
this should be very interesting as far as like Takashi Sato. Is he more like on the way out here? Because losses to Baeza by submission, Gunnar Nelson. I mean, like, yeah, your submission defense looked a little better, but Bilal Mohammed, yeah, okay. So those are some pretty solid-ish names, here or there. We'll forgive you on Baeza, but Jason Witt knockout, Ben Saunders knockout. The guys that he's been able to beat are also like the lowest level possible. So my thing is like, are these tough guys, like what kind of regard should we actually be holding them in? Because so far Bryan Battle's beaten Urbina and Tresean Gore. So what do we expect him to look like?
Gore just got knocked out by Brundage.
He dropped around two.
Yeah, so I really hesitate to play Bryan Battle as a big favorite here. And in fact, I'm probably going to be doing a little Sprinkle City on the Takashi Sato side here.
Let's go.
It's not that I think he'll get knocked out or anything. I just think that Sato's got good enough hips on initial takedown defense. Battle probably will gas out if he gets into extended wrestling exchanges at this lower weight class. And I think on the feet, Sato's got, pretty solid, clean defense. I don't have anything crazy here, though.
Guru, anything else, Tad?
Honestly, this was a fight that I was just about to start scouting before we got to the card, this podcast, so I didn't get to do as much on Sato as I want to. After hearing what you guys are talking about and where I see your eyes lighting up, I definitely want to dig a little bit deeper into Sato because Battle's obviously somebody I like and enjoyed watching on Tough as well, so probably a little bit biased. And definitely something I want to look into, especially at that price, because you guys are right. Bryan Battle, extremely hittable. But I mean, he's really good at mixing it up as well. Like he goes for like 2 takedowns per minute. I mean, two takedowns per minute. That's amazing. 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. And, so he's willing to mix it up. Good against the clinch and against the cage using the clinch, but also good with the leg kicks. But we'll see. Sato, we defended well against Gunnar Nelson, but Gunnar Nelson just kept trying the same submission over and over and over and over and over and over. So definitely an interesting fight. Yeah, and we haven't even really seen that much of Sato either, right? Just the 2 fights in 2020.
Yep.
Haven't seen him in over a year. Oh no, just kidding. 2022 was obviously the one with Gunnar, so we hadn't seen him in over a year before that.
Yeah, man, I like Sato just because, look, he is one-dimensional. I'll say that. He just pretty much throws hands. That's pretty much all he has. But he does it well. And, like, you look at who he's lost to. You look at who out-grappled him. Like you guys were talking about, Gunnar Nelson. That's what Gunnar Nelson does. Bilal Muhammad, that's what Bilal Muhammad does. Beza, that's not so much what he does. But, look, I think Beza's good. You know, he's had a tough run, but I think he's a good fighter. And, yeah, I just think that Battle does have the tools to win this fight. He could win this fight. I don't think he's going to finish Sato. I don't think he's going to out-wrestle him too much. If he does take him down, I expect Sato to get back up. And on the feet, I just don't expect him to look like a minus 270 favorite. And at this rate, we could probably get Sato plus 250 by fight time. So I feel like that's got to be the shot to take. I think it's 50-50 on the feet, maybe even closer, like to like 60-40 Sato, in my opinion. I think his hands are really crisp. Does good work. His combos are good, fast hands, and he carries a lot of power. So I do like Sato, especially at this price and what we might end up getting at plus 250. But we can move on.
So yeah, that's a great breakdown.
This next one's an interesting one, and the line is even more interesting. So we've got Terrance McKinney. By the way, are you guys watching the Contender Series fights right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we have a bet on Shannon Ross.
What's happening?
Shannon Ross is on the outside with what's his face? Salvador trying to kick him a lot. Oh, he just rocked him good. Get him, Skeeter. You get him.
We're on opposite sides here, folks. So this will be fun. But for this upcoming fight, we got Terrance McKinney versus Erick Gonzalez. McKinney is 12-4-0, 27 years old, 5'10", 74-inch reach, training out of Warrior Camp MMA. On the other side, we've got Erick Gonzalez.
He's asleep. Oh my God.
He's alive. Somehow alive.
God. I just did a Joe Rogan.
Nah, Salvador, get the sub. Get the sub.
He looked like he was done.
He's about to be.
So,
oh my God.
He's fighting back. Oh my goodness. Wow.
But back to this, we've got Gonzalez, 30 years old, 5'11", so he's got 1 inch in height, 74-inch reach, training out of Fight Science MMA. And Guru, I hate to interrupt your watching, but what do you think for this fight?
This fight. So this fight's super fucking interesting because you have Terrance McKinney at like minus 900, which is nearly minus 1,000 or whatever, which is absolutely astronomical. Against a guy in Erick Gonzalez, who, despite what narrative might have you try to remember, had a good first round against Jim Miller, rocked Jim Miller, showed what he is, which is like a ghost pepper, just like this guy Salvador, just absolutely balls to the wall crazy. And sometimes you can pull off shit against maybe fighters that are like technically better because you're doing shit that they're not expecting that they don't train for. And so that's how he caught Jim Miller off guard. And he shows that, lack of striking defense where he and that greenness where he comes out and throws the stupidest like front kick, axe kick thing unchecked and like gets absolutely video game style flatlined. Just amazing stuff. So with the narrative, you think that Terrance McKinney is just super duper live for that. And I think he obviously might be. I just wonder that, like we saw in the Dover fight, which obviously was on short notice, if Terrance goes out there and does something stupid like burn his gas tank really, really quick in 2 minutes, like I wonder if this guy at whatever he is, plus 500, plus 600, might come away, because I felt like Dober didn't even put like as much like he hurt him obviously, but like who am I to say? But like, you know what I mean? I felt like he'd crushed Dober with way harder strikes and was about to get him and was tired, took a couple strikes and was like, I'm good. So I wonder if that could be a common theme. He said he wouldn't do it again, but
yeah, he's calling for a round 2 sub this time. And I think I'm going to tail him because it's like plus 950 and climbing right now. And I don't want to play this any other way. I do think McKinney sparks him. Like you were talking about that striking defense of Gonzalez, 33% in that one fight with Jim Miller. Like Jim Miller's not some crazy striker to be giving up 33%. I mean, 77% to him. But Also, McKinney's grappling is just so good, man. You look at his fight with Faraziem, and like I love rewatching it because the transitions there are just so clean. The stuff he does is so clean. Like I do think realistically he's probably going to get Gonzalez out in round 1. It's unplayable. I think it's round 1 is like -200, and then his sub prop is like here. I'll pull it up. His sub prop is +125, and the KO is +130. And like you can't play that because he can easily get either one. And one other thing I would look at is maybe Gonzalez round 2 KO. It's like it's +3,500 right now. And like if McKinney does, not actually, if he doesn't do what he's saying he will, and he actually goes out there and just balls to the walls again, maybe Gonzalez can get him out of there in round 2. I think Gonzalez has decent hands. I don't think he's going to be a champ, but I think he can hang in the UFC. So I do like McKinney. He's unplayable at these odds, so I'm probably just going to play that sub that he called for in round 2 and call it a day. How about you, TV?
Yeah, that was the route I was going, was the submission. He's got 7 subs, and Gonzalez has the 2 submission losses compared to just the 1 knockout. But would I be surprised if McKinney just ended him with the knockout either? Like, no, not at all. But yeah, at these odds, it's like, do you think Gonzalez could at some point, make him slip on a banana peel and make something crazy happen? I probably won't be putting my money on Gonzalez. So that, you guys know where I lie. We'll see what those submission props lie at.
Sounds good. Makes sense to me. Gonzalez is definitely a little tough to back before we see more. Talking about somebody tough to back. Excuse me. We've got Michal Oleksiejczuk versus Sam Alvey, the guy you just can't get rid of. Oleksiejczuk is 16-5-0, 27 years old, 6 feet tall, 74-inch reach. He is training out of – damn, I don't have it. Do you guys know where he's training out of?
It's Academia Sportal Valky now. It's it looks like it's one of those European gyms. I forget where he's from.
Sounds good. And then Alvey on the other side is 33.
From Poland.
He's from Poland. Yeah.
Okay.
So Sam Alvey, 33, 17-1, 36 years old, 6'2", 76-inch reach, training out of Team Quest. And Guru, why don't you start us off for this banger?
Banger, man. This one should be the main event in my opinion. Sam Alvey, I mean, let's be honest, should be fighting for the title. I don't know why he's fighting these bums, but it is what it is. No, listen, he's on whatever it is. He's literally on like a 5, 6, 7 fight, 8 fight, 9, 12 million fight losing streak. So I can't imagine him getting it done here. The stats don't favor him. Oleksiejczuk, 27 years old, just had a loss to Dustin Jacoby, who's a fucking savage.
Yes,
had to back him against the world against Jung there, but that was easy money. Love that. Really. Love that. Oh my god, yep, love that. Was watching that from Chi-Town. Yeah, I think it's similar to the last fight in the fact that Michal wins, but unplayable at these odds. No?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty unplayable. For me, this one, I think Michal wins. I was writing in my notes, though, like low-key, if this was a few years ago and we had a better Sam Alvey, I feel like Michal Oleksiejczuk is like the perfect matchup for him because Oleksiejczuk, he lives off pushing his opponents against the fence, right? And that's where they struggle because they can't get off the fence. But who loves working off the fence? Sam Alvey. That's where he thrives. He's the counters off the fence.
I think I said, didn't I say that to you like early in the week, TV? And then I said that we have to make the meme where it's Riley Reid's face and it's just like, oh fuck, you're gonna make me bet on Sam Alvey.
That would have been great. And like it's just low key, like it kind of matches up. Michal is kind of hittable. He does move well, but when he's moving forwards and pushing his opponent back, he's liable for those counters. Most of them aren't as good countering off the back foot, but Sam Alvey is. Now, am I betting Sam Alvey? Hell no. Just making a quick case for the possibility, considering Oleksiejczuk is -700, -600, depending where you look. Mm-hmm. I was looking at Oleksiejczuk by decision. And again, if maybe this was a few years back, I'd do it. Sam Alvey is usually durable, but lately he's just not the same. I think I heard somewhere that this might be his last fight, win or lose. I don't want to say for sure because I don't remember the source, but what is going on in this fight?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I guess.
that's why I faded Salvador, because he's fucking crazy. Like, he does shit like that, like points to the cage.
It seemed
And
like Ross was winning this round.
I thought maybe it was getting close. He's just getting tagged too much. I cannot believe Salvador fights at flyweight. Like, he's just like, what
He
the
is huge.
fuck? What the fuck? And Shannon just is struggling with that range, which is unfortunate.
It's crazy. But moving.
Oh, hit him, bitch.
Yeah, so I was looking at Oleksiejczuk by decision. I might still get there, but I am worried that he just flurries Alvey late and finishes him. Oleksiejczuk round 3 KO is plus 1,000. That might be a sprinkle worth taking. Maybe FanDuel will give us something a little bit better. They tend to, but that's it for how I would play this. Can't really do much more.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Ariane Lipski versus Priscila Cachoeira. Lipski is 14-7-0. She's 28 years old, 5'6", 67-inch reach, and I have her training out of American Top Team. And then Cachoeira on the other side is 11-4-0, 5'7", 65-inch reach. So she's giving up 2 inches in reach, but she's got 1 inch in height. And she's training out of Coelho Team. I probably mispronounced that big time, but I don't know how to. And yeah, I'll start this one off. And personally, I think I'm going to bet Cachoeira. I don't know if I'm going to do it money line or if I'm going to do it by KO. Did Ross just get knocked out?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, guys.
For sure. Okay.
But back to this. Yeah, I like Cachoeira. I think that these two women are very similar fighters. Both of them are extremely defensively irresponsible. I think they're just going to go at it. That's the reason I also played the fight doesn't go. Got it at plus 135. I like that quite a bit. I think they're just going to be throwing hands for 3 rounds. Cachoeira just leaves her hands down, 45% striking defense, blocks everything with her head. And then Lipski's not much better. And then also Lipski is terrible on the ground. Her takedown defense was okay against Mandy Bohm, but that's Mandy Bohm. She got taken down by Antonina Shevchenko. And Cachoeira is not much of a wrestler, but I forgot that she did this. In the Kim fight, she did take Kim down, and it was kind of clean. So I wouldn't be shocked if she did that here. And if she does, I feel like she can finish it there. So I like the fight doesn't go. The under 2.5 is plus 175. That's also maybe worth a look. And yeah, I'll probably get to Cachoeira at least by KO. Maybe money line. We'll see. I was thinking maybe like Cachoeira decision, no action. But again, I think maybe she could get a decision win. And I think Lipski could also maybe finish her, maybe with a sub. But how about you, TB? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I lean towards the dog here, plus 145, Cachoeira. I think, she's a little bit more wild, a little bit more willing to walk forward. And Lipski, I think, wants a little bit more of a pretty fight on the feet and a little bit more distance, whereas Cachoeira is going to want to close it. And optic-wise, I think she'll be the one that's going to take away the victory.
How about you, Guru?
Yeah, it's really honestly for me, I'm not really sure I want any part of this fight. Both fighters are fairly low level at women's MMA, fairly low fight IQ. It's kind of a relatively tough road, I guess, for Lipski in the last couple fights. Carolina, right, wins that fight by knee bar. That's awesome. That was impressive, right? She was, I believe, an underdog in that fight. No, she was a slight favorite, but she faced Shevchenko, who's a decent striker, loses that, and then Montana De La Rosa, who's I guess decently well-rounded enough, and beats Mandy Bohm, who I went on a huge rant about last week being terrible, or about 2 weeks ago. And then you look at Priscila Cachoeira, and similarly, like we just cashed a prop last week, split decision, and Jocelyn Edwards by decision over Jiyeon Kim. So Priscila Cachoeira beating her is not that impressive. And then when you rewatch that fight, her face is a fucking mess.
I thought Kim won.
Yeah, exactly. So that, and like whether you thought, there's no reason to argue, like whether you did or you didn't, like it's a close fucking fight, and she's not that great of a fighter. And Priscila Cachoeira at 33 years old, we've probably seen like, I don't know, the best of what she's going to be able to do. So it's basically you're hoping her to recreate and replicate her best performances. And I don't know. I just kind of don't I don't really want to touch it. I
That's
get the
probably-
dog play.
But we'll move right along to something a bit more fun. I've got a pretty strong position on this one. Here we got Agusto Sakai versus Sergey Spivak. Sakai is 15-4-1, 31 years old, 6'3", 77-inch reach, and he is out of American Top Team right now, I believe. Yes, he is. And then Spivak on the other side is 14-3-0, 27 years old, 6'3", 78-inch reach, and he's training out of Extreme Couture right now. We've got a lot of guys over from Russia and all those countries over there training there. Hamzat spent some time there. Great camp recently. I feel like they've been finding a lot of success. TB, why don't you start us off with this one?
Yeah, this fight is extremely straightforward for me. I just think Sakai is one of those guys that has kind of been exposed on the UFC level, whether it's on the feet or on the mat. I think that you can beat him any which way at this point. Moving to ATT, I think it's going to help. They're going to get him his vitamins. He's going to come in probably in some of the better shape he's been in. But overall, as far as his game plan, I don't think they can improve the power in his hands too much, at least not to the level that's going to be able to knock out Sergey Spivak. And I don't think that they're going to have improved his ground game to the point where Sergey Spivak's not going to be able to do whatever he wants. Maybe they improved it enough to the point where he doesn't get knocked out on the ground. Maybe he can control the posture, control the strikes a little. But, I mean, I'm Team Polar Bear here. I'm already locked and loaded.
How about you, Guru? Team Polar Bear or not?
Yeah, that is already a little preview into our show tomorrow. We have Polar Bear in a parlay, and it's really the only way Agusto Sakai wins is flash knockout, and the only person he's done that to is Marcin Tybura in 2019. His other knockout is Chase Sherman in round 3. Otherwise, it's decisions or knockout losses as of late. So I like Sergey, and I like Sergey by finish.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on that. I think Sergey can win this fight anywhere. On the feet, I feel like it's close. If not, I could even give an advantage to Sergey technique-wise. Power, I guess maybe you can give it to Sakai. Like, is he live for a knockout? I do think so, but, I don't think he's going to get it. Spivak, I just expect Spivak to take him down. I really do think he will. I know only Overeem has found success against Sakai on the ground, but, Overeem's a kickboxer. Spivak, in my opinion, is probably the best grappler that Agusto Sakai has fought so far, at least in the UFC. So I think he's going to take him down and probably finish him with ground and pound. I also parlayed him. He's my main parlay piece.
Very nice.
But we'll move on to the first Ultimate Fighter Championship. We got Juliana Miller versus Brogan Walker. Miller's 2-1-0, 26 years old, 5'7", 67-inch reach, and she trains out of 10th Planet BJJ over in San Diego, I believe. And Brogan Walker on the other side is 7'2", 33 years old, 5'4", giving up 3 inches in height, 67-inch reach, and she trains out of Purebred FC Guam. So, Guru, you actually watched this season. Why don't you start us off for this one?
Yeah, so in the season, it's certainly very interesting. A lot of this obviously could be quite narrative based, but Juliana Miller is batshit crazy. She's awesome. She's a complete savage. Been through a lot, tough as nails, a complete competitor, scrappy dog. Just really, really tough, and had probably the toughest road in the house to get to the title, or to this shot here, the title. Beating the #1 contender in her first fight, a girl that she had already lost to by split decision, but it was kind of a sketchy split. So she made sure to win dominantly this time by decision, and then comes out and gets a finish in the second fight. Whereas you have Brogan Walker, who has a tough fight versus Hannah Guy, winning by majority decision. And was weird fight. I honestly thought that absolutely should have went to a third round, but no reason why it shouldn't have. And then she beats Laura Gregario, who is a beast, or not Laura Gregario, Gallardo. Sorry, Laura Gallardo, who's an absolute beast, but gets on the show via alternate and is truly a weight class down. Takes this opportunity. So Brogan Walker has the easiest path to this shot here. All that being said, it's styles make fights, and Brogan Walker is certainly well rounded and has a couple good wins on her record. I just like Juliana Miller's scrappiness. To me, she like kind of reminds me of like a mix of like Charles Oliveira and Paul Craig. Like she just wants to pull you to the ground and get the submission, and we'll find a way to do it there, but also is just super scrappy on the feet. Obviously, she's not as good as those people, but like, I have high aspirations. I have high aspirations for my.
I was about to rip you a new one for that, so thank you for fixing that.
Come on, man, she's got this. Let's go.
How about you,
yeah, I mean, at these odds, it's. I mean, I'd like to see her. It's basically a coin flip. So when you don't see her,
yeah.
Money or whatever. All right, goodbye.
Yeah. So Brogan Walker, I think she's faced much better competition. Isn't relying on just one skill in the grappling. Juliana Miller is all pressure forward with looping strikes and trying to crash into the clinch, trip you with body lock stuff. It's not super technical in getting you to the mat. So I'm on Brogan Walker plus money. Give it to me.
Yeah, I got to say I'm with TV here because, look, I looked at the tape and, sorry, I cannot with Miller's striking defense. I mean, I cannot. The way she jabs and just throws her head into it, it's like, please punch me in the face. She's going to get massacred on the feet. Maybe if not by Walker, somebody better. I mean, it was just rough to watch. Her ground game is dope. Her wrestling isn't that great, I'd say. It's once it's on the ground is where she's nasty. But, like, if she can't get Walker down, I don't know what she's going to do here. She's got a really good jab. She hits it all day long. She uses that length to hit it. But then she doesn't get out of the way, and she just thrusts her head into strikes. It's just I got to go with Walker here for this one. I got her at plus odds, so I feel a little bit better about that. But what were you saying, Guru?
No, I was like, maybe I'm like a little blinded. Like, I just think that I think I am Guru. I think TB's going to end up talking me into Brogan.
Yeah, I just played her for one unit. Nothing too crazy, but I feel like she's definitely got the edge on the feet here. And the better competition, She's got some good names on her record. Maverick W back in the day. Lost to Blanchfield, but Blanchfield's a monster.
Yeah.
But here we got the second Ultimate Fighter Championship. We've got Zach Pauga versus Mohammed Usman. Pauga is 5-0, 34 years old, 6 feet tall, training out of Elevation Fight Team. So I actually have a question, maybe Guru, because you were watching. Do both of these guys train at Elevation? Where does Usman train? Because I saw that, like, on his Instagram, he was at, in Denver, Colorado, but I didn't know.
I assume he trains with his brother at, what's it called? It's not Elevation.
ONX?
Yeah, ONX.
Oh, okay.
That's my assumption, but I actually am.
I actually saw that he was at Fortis, but I'm not sure if that's
I was
correct.
also about to
I couldn't see it on his socials.
He also might be there as well because he lives in Texas with the parents, I believe, or near them.
Well, either way, Usman is 7-2-0, 33 years old, 6'2", 79-inch reach, and we'll go with Fortis MMA for now with him. Guru, you again. You watched the show. What do you think?
Yeah, but listen, Zach was clearly the most well-rounded guy on the show. But had a good fight against who did he have a good fight against? I didn't pull up his thing. He fought what's his face? Thank you. Yeah, nobody I remember. See, that's what I was gonna say. Similar to like the last fight that I kind of broke down, had the easiest fucking path out of anybody on the show though. Like Niall Bartling and Jordan Heinerman was like, they're not good at all. They were really, really bad, and he didn't finish Niall, which was not a good look. It didn't look great, and then you see somebody in Usman who, kind of has that name value, whatever, has weird losses to Dontel Mays and Brandon Sales.
I cashed there.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
That's impressive. On PFL, that's fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of at dog money again. I don't know why you wouldn't maybe want to consider it, but at the end of the day, right? Are we giving another little peek into the show, TB? What do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, what for Pauga?
Oh yeah, or general for this fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, just in general, I mean, I feel like Usman, he's very much, survivability type of guy, low output. I really don't trust Pauga at his line, but I'm not running to play Usman either. I think I'm content to just watch this fight.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play Usman. I do
Nice.
think
There you go.
I think he's not very good. I definitely echo the sentiment of much of the community when they think that. Like I said, I faded him in PFL. I thought there's a good chance that Sales would beat him, and he did. Got him at good plus odds. But I don't think that Pauga necessarily does anything that much better than Usman. I think he's a cleaner striker. He keeps his stuff more straight. But overall, I wouldn't say he's that much better. Both of them don't have the best output. Hard to give a power advantage to either one, but Usman's a natural heavyweight, whereas Pauga, outside of the Ultimate Fighter, fought at 205. So, at these odds, I kind of have to go with Usman. I wouldn't be shocked if he kind of just uses that athleticism that he has, kind of pushes Pauga against the fence, slows him down, wins some of the exchanges, wins some moments. I think a KO could be live on the Usman side, plus 500. I don't hate it at all for a guy like him. I'm also kind of interested in the fight doesn't go to the decision because it's minus 125. I understand why, because both of these guys have been to decision a lot. They're both kind of slow. They don't really throw much. But for a heavyweight fight, I feel like that number is pretty low. So that might be a spot I might look at as well. But we can move right along to the next one. This one is super dope. Like I think you guys mentioned earlier, it could be a main event of its own. We've got Vicente Luque versus Jeff Neal. Luque is 21, 8-1, 30 years old, 5'11" with 76-inch reach, training out of my favorite camp, Sanford MMA. And then we got Jeff Neal, 14, 4-0, 31 years old, 5'11", 75-inch reach as well, and he's training out of Fortis MMA. So I'll start off this one. I'm on Luque. I'm all over Luque. I just think that he's better everywhere here. I feel like the line's honestly fair. Minus 175 at least was. That's what I got him at. I think he's a better striker without a doubt, in my opinion. I think he's got the faster hands, better technique. He's super dangerous, super durable, never been finished, unlike Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal has been finished, right? I'm not bugging.
Yeah, one knockout, one submission.
Okay, yeah.
Just not in the UFC.
Yeah. So, and you look at Luque, he struggled with Bilal, but it's Bilal and Bilal grapples, right? He struggles with the grapplers, but we're not really going to be seeing that from Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal could wrestle. It's something he does do, but I don't think he's as good as Bilal. I don't think he's going to be able to hold down Luque. And I think that if anything, if he's panic shooting, if he shoots sloppily, I think Luque can lock up a front choke and sub him. That's a look I might be, that's a spot I might be looking at to sub. But yeah, I just think he's more well-rounded. I think he's better everywhere, and I'm on Luque. How about you, TV? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I honestly just about the same read as you. I think Luque is a more well-rounded striking attack, goes to all three levels, and he has shown to be the more dangerous guy at the UFC level against the higher level of competition. He ran into it recently, but yeah, I think he gets back on track here. I'm not rushing to play him at this line, though. I'm going to play a little something different, fight to go the distance.
Nice.
I just got my dog's looking at me. I got to hop. I'm just going to hide my screen real quick. I'll be right back.
You got it.
What
are you thinking, Guru?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been all over the place. At first, I kind of was leaning Luque, and then I was like, man, Jeff Neal, this would be a pretty good spot for him at a dog price here. Maybe even dog of the week type vibes. Because, I don't know, Vicente Luque coming off a loss to Bilal Mohammed sometimes kind of fights a questionable game plan. And he's going to give Jeff Neal, and I guess Jeff Neal vice versa, Vicente Luque, the type of fight that he wants. So to that point, I think he's going to give Jeff Neal a chance to knock him out. And Vicente Luque does have that classically bad striking defense. And Jeff Neal has, I would probably say, the power advantage.
Yeah.
So, and maybe even the speed advantage with the hands. So, unless you're going to skirt around this small cage, pick him apart, and then finish a guy like Jeff Neal, who's really tough, hasn't been finished since he got finished by Kevin Holland in round 3 in 2017. Again, not in the UFC though. So definitely, and his sub loss was also to Martin Sano, which again is a terrible look, but that was literally like his third pro fight.
Wait, Martin Sano?
Yeah, literally, it's a bad look.
There's no. Oh, I think I remember all this. I remember that.
Yeah, it's a bad look, but it's back in 2013.
Oh,
So, these things happen.
Yeah.
I kind of like Jeff Neal. You guys definitely have me a little startled. Oh my god. And I do like the prop though. Fight goes the distance.
I feel like that might be a good look. I just pulled it up. Fight goes to decision is plus 110. So you get plus money there.
We like that.
But we'll move on to the main event of the evening. Here we've got Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill. Santos is 22, 10-0, 38 years old, 6'2", 76-inch reach, training out of American Top Team. And Jamal Hill is 10-1-0, 31 years old, 6 feet 4 inches tall. So he's got a 2-inch height advantage, 79-inch reach. And I actually don't know where he trains. Do you guys know where Hill trains?
It is Black Lion BJJ Academy.
Okay, so Black Line BJJ Academy for Hill. Thank you, TV. And with that, TV, why don't you start us off for this one?
Yeah, so I think this one's pretty straightforward. All the things that I've been worried about for Jamal Hill in his prior matchups, I don't think are really in play here. And the one thing he's got to worry about as our boy Charlie Campbell's looking to get a knockout here. Come on, man.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. He got flattened. Yes! Oh, no. Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. Wow. That was just a crazy turn of events. I mean, Campbell looked to be on the verge of a knockout and just got flattened and because he overextended. Oh, my word. Wow. That was a crazy fight. God. Duncan. Wow. All right. So, yeah. And listen, I expect the same thing to happen to Thiago Santos at some point on Saturday. Hill is going to push a little bit more pressure than Santos has been used to recently. I think he doesn't respect Santos as much as some of Santos's recent opponents. And, I just think Jamal Hill, has what it takes to get it done here because Santos isn't going to be the guy to be looking to take him down and really deal with him in that regard. So, give me Jamal Hill here. Parlayed Sergey Spivak and Pantoja last week.
Wow, what a crazy fight that was. I'm still fucking recovering, as is Charlie Campbell. Oh, my God.
We're true professionals over here, breaking down one card and watching another.
That's I hope he's okay. Oh, my God. This fight is – I think this is like the passing of the torch. I think Thiago Santos is kind of on his last leg, and I think that's actually kind of apropos because his knees, since that surgery, he's just not the same guy. I think this is a good way to continue to build Jamal Hill towards the top. And, Jamal Hill's going to roll.
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
He just gets flattened like that. Oh, my God.
I do think Jamal Hill wins this fight. I don't know if he knocks out Santos. It'll be pretty crazy. It's kind of hard to imagine, but he probably will. I've doubted Hill. I faded him against Walker, and then he turned Walker into a cartoon. So I'm done fading him. His striking is really good. I think what's crazy is he's already long. And yet somehow with the striking, he makes himself even longer. Like this guy can hit you across the octagon with the way he leans forward. And I feel like that's really going to come in clutch for him here. He's got the power, the speed. And I do think he I don't know if he walks through Santos, but I think he rolls here probably. And that's it, guys. That's the main event. That's the card. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, TV and Guru, for breaking down the fights with me while the Contender Series was going on. It was a tough time slot. I thought about moving in, and I was like, fuck it. So we did our best, watched some fights too. Guys, why don't you tell them where to find you?
Yeah, you can follow me at Guru Scouting MMA on Twitter, Verdict, Instagram, and Tapology. You can follow my awesome co-host, TB Scouting MMA, on Twitter, Verdict, Instagram, and Tapology. And our pod is at Chronic Combat on Twitter, at Chronic Combat Conversations on Instagram, and Chronic Combat Conversations on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Pod. So make sure you check us out. And thanks so much, Mike, for having us on, bud. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Make sure to catch Chronic Combat tomorrow. They've got a very dope guest, Dennis Bazooka from last week. So you guys don't want to miss that. I'm certainly not going to miss that episode. But yeah, and you guys know where to find me at Couch Warrior Pod on Twitter for all my picks as I make them. I'll be out there posting picks at 3 a.m. because I post them when I make them, or at least I try to. This is my YouTube channel, Couch Warrior Podcast. I go live every Tuesday to break down the fights at 9 p.m. for the upcoming card. Thursdays, I do Mike's Bets, where I just go over my bets. I do that at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's usually like a 6 to 10 minute video. And then on Thursdays, I break down the Contender Series that's coming up. Fridays, I break down the Contender Series card coming up. I try to do it nice and early. And that's my stuff. That's what I got going on. So thank you guys for tuning in, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thanks so much. Hopefully it goes better than this Dana White Contender Series card. Ooh.